I'm very uncomfortable. 6 months ago on June 21st, I went into a trampoline park with my boyfriend David on a date, and we were just having a good time jumping around, doing backflips in the foam pit. And I had taken a break to text my friend, and I got like a really, really big pain in my back. So bad that it was unbearable. I was just crying, and no matter what position I went into, nothing would relieve the pain. So I ended up getting picked up by my mom, but when I was on the phone with my mom, my fingers curled up, and I dropped the phone. I couldn't hold my phone, and I thought that was very weird, and deep down, like, I knew something was wrong. And we got to the emergency room, where they did like a couple of tests, like muscle tests, like lift up this arm, lift up that arm, and I could do all of it, aside from my fingers being like weirdly curled in, but it only took about 2 hours for me to start becoming paralyzed. I had something very rare, and that was getting paralyzed slowly, because most people get paralyzed immediately after their injury, but mine took about 3 hours to fully kick in. I lost movement from my shoulders down, so it descended down. I went to a CT there at the emergency room, and they knew something was wrong. After that, I got transported to the main hospital, where a lot of different doctors came to see me, and where I went for my first MRI. After my first MRI, they thought I would need to go into surgery, so they didn't let me eat for a good like 24 hours.
Ready? We're gonna palm down, palm down. Ready? And go. Palm down. You can do it. Move something. Do something with that.
And at this point, we didn't know how serious it would be. I just thought I would get up in a couple of days, but that never happened. So my mom asked the doctors if it was serious and that if we should fly my family in. And at first I said no, to give it a couple more days, but then later in that night, they were like, this is really serious. You guys need to start making arrangements, and you should fly your family in. So, the next morning after the MRI, I still hadn't eaten, and they had told me that I was probably going to need emergency surgery in my neck, but that never happened.
Ready to feel
Yes.
the pressure now. All right, let's do this.
Finally, collar comes off.
Okay, there's your front part. It feels good?
Yay!
Okay, I'm just going to stabilize your head here for a second.
But they still told my family that they should fly in, including my dad and my siblings, because they live in New Jersey. They told my mom that it was pretty serious, and we're all just like really scared. I didn't know any of this was happening because my mom and my family didn't tell me much, because everything was so uncertain that they didn't want to like scare me. But one thing that did happen was a doctor did say in front of me, and in front of all my family, that I was going to go into respiratory failure and that I would most likely need intubation. That luckily never happened, but it was very, very high possibility. And I had a lot of restless nights because of that, and so did my siblings and family and my dad, because it was really scary.